Yo, what is good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family? We're back again with another daily Casper and crypto live stream. And it looks like the light at the end of the tunnel is rapidly approaching us. The markets right now are, kind of stagnant today. And we'll get into the analysis of the market in a moment. But we have a lot of very interesting sources for today's stream. Obviously some Casper updates, some good and bad news, but also we got a post from ARK Invest and Cathie herself, where they also believe the light is at the end of the tunnel. We are very close and a market reversal is imminent therefore. And she also touched on an AI boom as well, which is something that I have wholeheartedly believed for quite some time. And Casper could also tap into that. And actually in that regard, I have just finished, after 4 hours straight of researching, finished another general market update video. I made one sometime a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I believe, right here, 9 days ago. And I just finished another one, so I'll be uploading that probably about half an hour after the stream has finished. So make sure you stay tuned for that to get a bit of understanding of the kind of market catalyst incoming and also other projects that I'm looking at. I didn't really talk about Casper in the video, but of course we all know I'm bullish on Casper, doesn't change at all. But I do have a lot of other projects I think have good potential, and this one was also quite heavily focused around AI as well, because I think AI is going to be an absolutely massive sector. It's very undervalued and it's going to go much higher in this cycle. I have a lot more information about that in my VIP group as well. Again, tangent aside, point being is I am still very optimistic, and I think the market is going to start making a reversal going into May, June, July, and from there on as well. As always, if you enjoy these streams, you know what it means to me, you know what it means to us. Help me out, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And welcome back everyone to the quick crypto family stream. Greg, my man, welcome back. Had a very, very good day so far. You too, Dee, both you two are first apparently. Okay, Dee says given her name, Cathie Wood, I hope she's right, otherwise I'm gonna live in the woods. Well, she is one of the so-called smart money. Cathie Wood is the younger generation's Warren Buffett, because Warren Buffett is, of course, very well-renowned investor. He doesn't really like crypto, where Cathie Wood is deemed as the same, but she is very, very optimistic and bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. So people have perceived her as the younger generation Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett doesn't necessarily mean that she's always right, but she has a lot of influence. Her name does get a lot of attention. So we'll go into what she says, and I do also believe that she is right as well. We'll get to that in a moment. Welcome back, Crypto Go Superman. Hope you're doing very, very well. You hope doing very, very well. TikTok is coming soon. Small dip now, and after the 9 cents, 12 cents, I wait. Yes, soon enough we will see Casper blow past 9, 12, 15, 18, all the way back up to all-time highs, and then some. I still am very optimistic where Casper can go in this cycle. How high? We can debate that still. I don't really talk about price anymore, but I do think Casper can still surpass expectations today, or in this cycle in general. Welcome back everybody to the channel. Nafa, my man, yo, what's up, QC? Casper about to take off in due time, man. I'm very, very confident Casper's going to be one of the biggest earners this cycle. Let's go, Kryptoni. Hope you're doing very, very well, and welcome back again, my man. And you too, Thomas. Soon Casper will not be able to be ignored by influencers. DCA $50 this morning. God bless everyone. And yes, right now Casper doesn't get a lot of attention because it is a fairness project. They don't pay influencers to talk and promote about it. Soon enough, it will be purely just from the hype and FOMO and the belief of fundamentals for Casper that people just have to start talking about it. And then we'll be here from the beginning, who got in early before the price starts to rally. June will be our month, friends. I think June will be a very, very bullish month for us as well. With that being said, let's get into the market real quick. We can see Bitcoin currently is down 0.57%. We're still very much in a Bitcoin dominant market right now, so of course if Bitcoin retraces even a little bit, the market will follow in suit. 63.77%. And then in regards to Casper, right now Casper is down 4.54% on the daily time frame, value just short of 7.5 cents. And what is very interesting, we'll have to see how the day ends up, of course. What is very, very interesting is if we look at the current chart, right, and this is just another element of TA. Look at the chart right now. We've seen a lot of buyers, since this dip down here on the 7th of April last week. And the last 4 days in particular, we've seen Casper trade in and around this zone here. When you look at the candles closely, and you look obviously at the buyers and sellers, you can see right now, the wicks below the bar are extremely small. whereas the wicks above the bar is in much higher. This therefore indicates there's a lot more buy pressure right now than there is sell pressure. On the daily right now, and again this could very much change, but right now there's not really much of a wick below it. So right now it looks like the buyers are still very much in control, and with what's coming in the cycles in the next couple of weeks or so, I'm still very optimistic that we'll see Casper eventually break above this level of resistance here between the 8 to 8.5 cent zone here, and then blow past up to 10 cents and from there on out as well. Again, we're not far from the big catalysts, talking 10 BPS, talking smart contracts, talking stablecoins, all coming to Casper, tier 1 listings as well, and of course market reversal as well. Welcome back, Free Baker Man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Thank you, you know it. Our faithful daily broadcaster, you know it. Every single day here, good or bad days, always talking about crypto, always talking about Casper. So yeah, right now, I think Casper hopefully is going to showcase and prove that this here was the double bottom. Again, this is just elements of TA double bottom into a reversal. I think it will depend on the catalyst, and I think again May is looking very, very good. And it's not just me, as also Cathie Woods has said so as well. While the last 2 weeks of tariff turmoil has been challenging for financial markets, we see light at the end of the tunnel. This is coming off the back of ARK Invest weekly newsletter, and this is very, very interesting. Talking about the tariff turmoil, will it mark the end of a 3-year rolling recession, and much more to talk about as well. They talk about numerous topics in here. For me, there are 2 important I'm going to highlight, which is the tariff and the AI element. This is the part here where you're talking about, while many observers fear that the Trump tariff policy is a recipe for economic and geopolitical disaster, we believe that what looked at first glance like a massive and most regressive tax increase in the United States history could turn out to be quite the opposite. In summary of this, paragraph here, what was stated, this analysis from Cathie Woods and ARK Invest suggests that Trump's controversial tariff policies initially seemed to be damaging, but actually could be a very strong move to force trade negotiations and ultimately lower trade barriers. And we've seen it work. Apparently, according to the White House, 130 nations are now negotiating with America to sort out the trade deals. So it could end up being a very smart move in that regard. The shift in negotiation leadership towards Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent as well, supported by Trump, also signals a potential for a more constructive approach. So it seems Scott Bessent is the one that's kind of taking the lead in negotiations as well. So Cathie Woods basically believes that Trump's focus on the achieving strong economy growth and a booming stock market and crypto market ahead of 2026 midterm elections, they predict effectively a short-term economic downturn, including a governmental recession due to the delayed impact of past interest rate hikes and tariff-related uncertainty. However, this downturn is going to be seen as an opportunity for the administration and the Federal Reserve to implement stimulus measurements and tax cuts. So, effectively, Cathie Woods is highlighting here, we may see more downside in the immediate short term due to uncertainty from tariffs and due to the lack of rate hikes, because they've taken us so long to get them, because the Fed typically are always very, very late to start cutting rates. So we might see some more downturn in the short term, next couple of weeks or so, but following that, going into the rest of this year and cycle, we'll likely start seeing the rate cuts coming through, the QEs coming through, and that will lead to a booming economy. We know the next FOMC meeting is meant to be on on May 7th. Wow, where did that go? On May 7th. So on May 7th, which is about 3 weeks from now, we'll see the next FOMC meeting, and there's a good chance, potentially, that we end up seeing Jerome Powell announce the first of hopefully many rate cuts. So start of the stimulus package. We saw from What to Go as well, not too long ago, that a top Fed official confirmed that the Federal Reserve is now prepared to finally step in and help stabilize the market and economy should it be needed. So the uncertainty of Trump's tariffs, while still lingering, and hence why the markets are still not really booming right now, the Fed apparently are now in position to help alleviate that pain. We may see more downturn in the immediate short term, but going forward, things are looking much, much better for crypto, and I believe that much as well. And again, in regards to the, M2 element again. Bitcoin has an 80% correlation to the M2, and that still highlights that we're going to be seeing some form of boom or reversal going into May. So things are looking, up, I'd like to say, for crypto as a whole. Just a matter of being logical, not being emotional, and just biding our time. But things are looking optimistic going forward from here. And I think we can see Bitcoin reach these sort of levels of 130k plus in the cycle, if not much higher. And of course, Casper could also rally from there as well. And what Cathie was also mentioned, which I think is very important as well, on top of just the tariff news, is also AI as well. Scroll quite far down here, you can see AI is transforming marketplaces with autonomous agents. AI agents, which again, I've been speaking about this in my VIP group in a lot of detail. And we believe wholeheartedly AI is going to be an absolutely massive thing going forward. The TLDR of what's stated here is about how Amazon has a new buy for me button, which basically just showcases the shift in the marketplace that AI powered purchasing agents are coming through. So you can literally just say buy for me and the AI does the whole thing for you now, which is a very big deal. It says here, completing transaction with just one click, checkout. With the capability, Amazon is now integrating product discovery and checkout, collapsing the e-commerce funnel into a single interaction. So it's a very big deal. This move represents the next phase of market evolution where AI acts as an autonomous agent, proactively managing purchases based on inferred intent and learned preferences. So it knows what you do. And you already have it now, this whole, if you go into Google history, if you're typing in, when I type in kas.fyi for Casper, I type in the K and it immediately loads that up because it knows my search history. It knows my tendencies. So that's the first thing that loads up. So this is a very big deal again, and we can see the sort of, I guess the time spent to complete trade transaction is going down more and more and more. It's once more a big shift towards how AI is advancing. And we're seeing a massive evolution, and once more why this could be very big, because AI and crypto go hand in hand. And we can even see here, Son Polinsky highlighted on January 27th earlier this year, I'm working under the assumption that the next 1 billion crypto users will be AI agents, and sure, many will come in tokenized form, layer 1 speed and confirmation, highly relevant to AI agents, kind of layer 2s. I'm thinking along the lines of implicit DeFi, be decentralized financial AI. And we know this already. In due time, soon there will be AI agents probably starting to utilize in Casper and its unique properties, because the Casper is a very unique up and coming layer 1 that's going to see a hell of a lot more adoption in this cycle. There are many other huge AI agents as well. Johnny Tucker Outdoors, my man, thank you very much for the $4.99 donation. Hype, you know it. Hype is always up there. The hype is looking very, very good, and I think we are just in a prime position to see a lot more coming through. So thank you very much for the donation, brother. Very, very appreciative. And cannot thank you enough once more. This is a very unique time we're in right now, and I can say that we're all blessed here to be in projects like Casper before the AI boom, before the institutional adoption, all the stuff coming through very, very soon. That's going to make us, hopefully extremely wealthy, as we can just sit back and relax and watch the prices go up as institutional FOMO comes in, which will be coming in going June, July, August time, based on certain catalysts as well. For example, one such catalyst, I haven't preloaded it, but Senator Tim Scott confirmed that market structure and stablecoin regulatory frameworks will be coming out by August, which therefore means we'll start seeing capital inflows and large inflows from institutions starting to come in as they are eager to get into crypto around that time as well. And again, as Cathie was just highlighted here, AI is going to be huge, and AI and crypto go hand in hand. There are quite a few AI projects that I think are very, very good. The video that I'm going to release in about an hour from now talks about 3 in particular. There are some other ones that I'm looking into privately that I'm going to disclose to members who are part of the VIP group here. But the ones that I did highlight that I think are very, very strong are the likes of Render, which Render is a very, very strong one. Tau, of course, and also Desync. Desync and Tau are probably ones that I have probably a bit more bullish sentiment on, but all 3 are very, very strong upcoming AI projects that I think will significantly get a lot more adoption in the cycle as well. So, a lot more to come. Tau right now is already at $230. It's it's come down considerably from its all-time highs, and I think Tower can easily go a lot higher, returning to all-time highs and then some in the cycle. Desync right now is also down quite a considerable amount. If we go and type in desync also down to $131 million market cap. It was at 500 plus earlier on, I think 550 at its peak, or just above 500, 523 at its peak, and I think this one also can do very, very well. And then equally Render also, I think it's got a very strong shout for it, just short of a $2 billion market cap. I think it's just above Casper right now. It's just below Casper actually, only slightly by 100 million. But Render, I think, also going to be a very, very big AI project. I mean, it peaked above $12, so from here it's a 3-4x to all-time highs. And I think, again, when the AI boom comes back, which again we can see from Cathie Woods that they have belief in AI, the AI boom I think will come back. Projects like Render can get a considerable amount of adoption going forward, especially if they are tapped into the AI agent sector as well, which I know for a fact that Desync is. And I'm sure you see many more coming out as well. So AI is going to be huge, and again, Casper is also tapping into that as well, which is going to be very, very optimistic. It's going to be very huge going forward. I want to highlight here something that Christian Lubbock stated here, which is, are we understanding the gravity of what's happening right now? By the end of this year, Casper will be trilemma solving Nakamoto system, peer-to-peer cache flexible to network latency and chaos with instant confirmation times, the fastest production crypto in the world, fastest, cheapest and most secure zero-knowledge Ethereum virtual machine settlement layer for smart contracts and stablecoins, featuring inherent MEV resistances due to Casper speed, and so much more. So much more. And Casper's going to prove everybody who faded it, everyone who is just not too optimistic because they've just been looking at the price long, they're going to prove them wrong. Because when the fundamentals prove that they matter more than hype, Casper's going to be there in full force. We are currently halfway through the Casper upgrade to the crescendo activation on the mainnet. 20 days less than that remaining now. Only 1.7 million blocks remaining until we see the full migration over to Casper 2.0. There's also going to be a meetup as well, apparently led by passionate volunteers, on low to no cost accessible events to learn more about Casper and get connected to the regional community. This one here happening in in Dubai on the 3rd of May. So these sort of things are very good to just kind of attend to if you can do. Just kind of learn more about Casper we're all friendly people, I like to believe, unless you are funding Casper, of course, can cause any form of backlash, but it's more so, I guess, the ignorance or the inability to want to learn that can cause anyone to get frustrated. I mean, even I can get frustrated at times when people are funding Casper, and I don't mind it, but it's when they refuse to learn or trying to understand it from a different perspective. You can hate Casper all you want because the price is bad and there's no utility right now, or lack of that, and I get that, but when you're ignoring what is coming through and just saying it doesn't matter, you can't say that for sure because you don't know. Equally, I don't know. But then there's no point in just being so bearish on something like that when you have no idea what's coming through. And when you look at the institutional sentiment that's coming to the space and the level of adoption we're seeing and how they want real use case utility, Casper's a very strong shout for that then. Much appreciated, brother. Thank you very much, Free Breaker, and you're welcome again here every single day. Andy A again, 21 more Casper. Love to hear, man. Keep stacking that bag. Gonna look very, very big, no doubt. Good evening, Casper Fog. Hope you're doing very, very well as well. Well done, yeah, you've done a very good job. I love hearing it. After the tariff pause is over, will we go back down? That's what I'm wondering. It's a very good question, Johnny. Very good question. I think it will depend, right? Because Trump's paused it for the time being, but he may just also activate it again on a short notice. We really don't know how it's going to go about. He may just activate it at a short notice, but he's going to keep it paused for indefinitely. The whole premise of Trump's tariff seemingly was to force countries to negotiate. He tried to do it with Canada and Mexico, and it forced negotiations. And then he said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do it to the whole world. And overnight, you saw multiple countries approach Trump to negotiate. So it seems like the tariffs news, while it caused a lot of turmoil in the market, and of course China and America are still going at it, it looked like more of a strategic tactic to force negotiations to make better trade barriers, better trade deals. So depending on what goes forward, we may see either complete halting or they'll be added again. I think by that point, I mean, in 3 months, he said 3 months, 90 days. So April, May, June, July. From my understanding, we're expecting to see some form of market structure bills and stablecoin bills in America by August. So in a similar time frame. So when the tariffs end up proceeding again, we should be close to or even having released some market structure bills. So the tariffs will still cause affect the market because people are going to react to the tariff news, but the physical bullish fundamentals of confirmation of market structure bills will be out. So what I suspect you'll see is retail dumping because they're scared of tariffs, and institutions buying those dips because they understand now they've got actual legislation to have confidence and confirmation to start buying into crypto. There's a post that I have showcased before, and I'll show it again. This comes from Signum, to which we have so many massive institutional documents in the VIP group, and one of them that we've highlighted is from Signum, where they've put a lot of very, very big alpha in there. But from Signum here, they highlighted, this is a Swiss bank, a regulated Swiss bank, by the way. A lot of big partnerships, and bridging the gap between the TradFi and DeFi sector with their partnerships as well. They stated that with clear US regulations, inflows from major funds are expected to start in earnest in 2025. And with the regulatory frameworks coming through by August most likely, this therefore means that if the tariffs come through in July time, as the timeline lines up, and retail starts panicking and dumping on the markets, institutions are going to buy that dip because now they've got regulatory clarity. So you may see a lot of volatility around that time, but it won't necessarily be for the bad thing. It'll be retail panicking. Me, myself, I'm not going to sell. I haven't sold throughout all the tariff news so far, so why would I sell then? I still believe we've got a lot more incoming. And Cathie would highlight, yes, more downside in the immediate short term possible, but the long term feels to look very, very good. Market structure is going to be the big catalyst I highlighted in my video I'm posting later. The big catalysts are the Fed rate cuts, the Fed money printing, and also the market structure bills, the crypto bills that are coming out later on this year in Q3. Welcome back, Lau, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Having a great day so far. Let's get on to the today. I mean, again, if you can, fantastic. But I appreciate that. I appreciate very, very much. I really, really do. The support is unreal for this community and this channel. And I mean, you guys are the reason that I do it. I do it because I love doing it, and you guys are very, very communicative, very supportive, and I love it. So I appreciate it very much. Again, we're all a community together. We're all trying to learn more about crypto and Casper. So, we're all going to make it together as well, hopefully. What's up, Mila? Hope you're doing very, very well. Hello, gang. Stay strong. Waiting for rate despite the market uncertainty. We know what we've been holding. Completely true. Completely true. I'll super chat when I need to get his attention. Lol. Yeah, that seems to be what's happened because I go on massive, I wouldn't say tangents all the time, but when I start talking frequently for time and time again, then to stop me in my tracks, I get a super chat from Tony. It happened the last few days. I appreciate it. I try not to make it a habit because I don't want you to completely spend all your money on me. Obviously, I'm never going to say no, but it's probably worth spending it more on crypto, honestly. Welcome back, my man Smith. You think Casper is better than XRP? Yes. I think that Casper is a lot smaller than XRP. I think Casper has a lot of very, very innovative technologies coming out very, very soon, and developments coming out very, very soon. I mean, I am partly a maximalist, so I do just wholeheartedly hold Casper in a high regard to pretty much every project in this space. I see the value in XRP. I've seen the partnerships they have. I see the use case they've currently got. So I think XRP is a good pick, at least me personally. I am hedging to XRP, but what I also understand, and the recent rug pull of Mantra is also just further proof of that. The recent rug pull of Mantra is once more, even though it's been coming up quite a lot today, which is just is what it is, right? The recent rug pull of Mantra is inherently the reason why I'm always quite just standoffish with assets that aren't fair launch. Bitcoin, Casper, those ones are fair launch proof of works. Tau, a decentralized AI, fair launch AI project. XRP, I think, is a great pick due to their partnerships, due to what they have built, and the fact that they've got a very, very... That Ripple, the company's been about longer than Bitcoin. They've got some very in-deep connections. They've got a lot of documents that they've been quoted as, the solution for the financial system. Now, whether you believe it or not, it's up to you. But I'm just seeing the institutional sentiment and choosing to hedge some of my portfolio into XRP. But in saying that, I think in due time, Casper is going to be inevitable and impossible to ignore, because it's going to be able to handle and compete with XRP and then some. The KRI releasing many projects, one of them being called Warp Core. that will literally tap into the same market XRP is tapping into, and could very much displace them as well going forward. So the answer for me right now is, in regards to, I guess the answer for me right now, if I'm being very, very blunt, is right now, no. But in a few weeks, yes. Once you get 10 BPS and smart contracts and stablecoins, then yes, Casper for me will be the strongest layer 1 in this space. And the adoption will come through in due time as well. KRI and KF are going to help accelerate that. Casplex, IGRA, all those projects are going to help accelerate adoption for Casper, to which actually we can see from IGRA Labs here that Dromon is finally here. Dromon being their DevNet, layer 2. They said here we'll be monitoring performances and kicking the tires for the next few days. More details tomorrow. Thanks for your patience. So looks like their public testnet and stuff is, their testnet's ongoing. Their public testnet will be coming out very soon as well. Dromon here is going to be very, very big. We have now 4 base layer 2s on Casper competing, and each layer 2 will attract lots of projects. We've got Zeller Swaps being one of them, who's testing on Dromon's testnet right now. They successfully deployed and run the DEX, smooth swaps, low gas, and all features firing on chain, which is very good to see. What's very interesting as well about Zeller Swaps in this regard is Zeller Swaps actually also on Casplex's DevNet as well. So Zeller Swaps is, to my knowledge right now, is the only layer 2, the only DEX that is building on both Casplex and IGRA. So I think Zeller Swaps right now could end up being one of the highly sought out DEXs for Casper going forward. Right now I've heard nothing but good things about them, which is reassuring as well. So that's great for Zeller Swaps. We're seeing multiple stuff firing. You've got CSwap as well, who highlights that Casper's DeFi ecosystem is taking shape. You've got a lot of people who are building right now. There are a lot of DEX teams, lending protocol, all this sort of stuff, and Casper's going to transform to a full-fledged project in the very near future as well. What's up, Eternal Nightmare? Hope you're doing very, very well again. Welcome back to the channel. Wealth Ranger, Bitcoin giving up 1 week gains, another leg down is imminent. Potentially. Right now, the market is in it's a period of uncertainty. It really much depends on the tariffs right now. If we end up getting some form of bullish confirmation, again, for me, and I have to keep reiterating this every time, TA is important, of course, but TA is not the holy grail. It's not. Like, you can make predictions of where Bitcoin's going to go from here. Bitcoin very, very well go down right now. But if we get macro news that comes out, or fundamental news that comes out tomorrow, it doesn't matter what the TA says, because the TA does not react. The TA reacts on the fundamentals. The fundamentals that come out because of the TA. So we don't know exactly where it's going to go. Right now, we are seeing lower highs and lower lows being formed. So right now, we're still very much in a Bitcoin downtrend. So we could potentially see it going down still. But with the potential for the Fed cutting rates in May, we could see a potential reversal. Been saying that Cathie did highlight that we still got some more downside imminent, but that's only in the immediate short term. Later on in the cycle, we'll start seeing this upward momentum, and I believe that much as well based on the imminent catalysts. Now you put the good word out about Casper. You won't see me supporting your videos about other coins, but I'm here for Casper. I appreciate it very much. I know a lot of people in the community in particular, they have no care for any other crypto besides Casper and Bitcoin, but mainly just Casper anyway. So I fully expect that videos on other tokens won't get as much views, and that's perfectly fine. In the future, there will be altcoin videos, of course, that I make that will cover Casper as well. I mean, the first one I did cover about Casper, as well as Sui and also Tal there. The one I made just now, I just give a little, just say, Casper's my biggest holding, so I like Casper anyways in the video I just made, but I didn't really cover it too much because I wanted to see exactly how much, attention the video would get that doesn't talk about Casper in this community. But I mean, either way, people understand me and know me very clearly that Casper's my biggest holding. It's still my biggest project. I do see value in other assets, but Casper for me is still a no-brainer, so that doesn't change my conviction in the slightest. I'm not fading Casper in the slightest at all. I see no value in any other crypto besides Bitcoin, and I do, for the most part, I do agree with that sentiment. In terms of like longevity and I guess safety and peace of mind, then yes, but I see there's an element of value on just hedging for me, just me personally. Like, I hold other assets, Sui, C, XRP. I see value in them despite being proof of stake, despite having their inherent risks from being proof of stake, like Mantra obviously had. I see some value in them as potential hedge, so I can make some extra gains on the side and then cycle that profit into other assets as well. But that's just me. Bitcoin plus Casper equal financial freedom based on those laws of physics, game theory, and stock flow, flock to flow. And yeah, I completely agree. Bitcoin has done fantastic for what it is as a store of value, and Casper will come in proving itself as a medium exchange based on what's coming out soon as well. It'll prove that we can go up from here as well. Casper is better than XRP simply because it's a fair launch proof of work project. I completely agree as well. It doesn't need smart contract stablecoins to be better than XRP. For adoption wise, yes, it does, I think. In terms of actually just peace of mind as an investor, as us, then no. But in terms of actually getting the adoption it needs to be able to scale properly and get, I mean, the fact of the matter being, the KRI wouldn't be able to utilize any of their projects without smart contracts. So we do need those elements for it to properly scale and be able to compete with XRP properly. But from an investor standpoint, for peace of mind of what's going to happen, I do think Casper, I agree with you, doesn't really need it to be better than XRP. But I'll just highlight that right now. I say XRP is better than Casper purely because Casper still needs the fundamental stuff to come out to be able to properly compete. That's all. Casper as it could be better used as a cryptocurrency than XRP and Bitcoin, even without 10 BPS. Yes, that is also true. I mean, again, you're completely right, Crypto. Of course you are. But it's in regards to the institutional use case, or just the use case in general, right? Okay, XRP, we've already seen Casper, being used for transactions. People sending out 8 million XRP, not XRP, 8 million Casper, and spending, not even $1 worth of, cost. So it's already extremely cheap and extremely fast. So we've already seen that as well. But in regards to it being able to scale, like we saw what happened when KRC20 came out. It was fantastic, but it did cause a lot of congestion because they can't handle the speeds just yet. So for its Casper to be able to be used at an institutional scale, worldwide scale, it does need a bit more speed. 10 BPS will help with that. And in the words of Aviv Zohar, who's Son Polinsky's mentor, after 10 BPS, you don't really need more than that. Casper's going to go 100 because Son Polinsky thought, yeah, I can. But his mentor said you don't really need more than 10. So once we get 10 BPS, that'll be the first early signs of Casper being at its sort of end game level to handle the institutional adoption and speed it needs. How many UTXO transactions are possible on the Casper wallet? And if a max is reached, what happens to my old balance every time new transactions get deposited once UTXOs are passed? It's a very, very good question. To my knowledge, from what I can remember, I think that I'm trying to think of a way to answer this. So Casper has obviously limits in the size of transactions, which indirectly limits the number of UTXOs that can be included in a single transaction. I'm going to quickly just go through my notes and just trying to find out, because I've got a note about that actually. Just quickly go through my notes. So I can see it here in my notes. So I wrote down about UTXO. So Casper utilizes the UTXO model, like Bitcoin, obviously. Tracks unspent coin pieces rather than the account balance. So when a user's UTXO account approaches this limit, wallets either split transactions or consolidate UTXOs by sending funds to the user's own address. So new deposits create new UTXOs, but the overall balance remains unaffected. So it effectively, nothing will go wrong. It will remain unaffected. It's just it might split off to a different wallet, effectively, from what I can see. If that answers your question, so I'm not sure how. It was quite a bad explanation, I'll be honest. But from my understanding, Casper's network will still remain efficient, so it still remain secure, and the overall balance will remain unaffected. So it still will be okay. It'll reach the max and split off something else, but it'll still remain unaffected. If that helps, I think that's correct at least. But again, I'm sure people in the community might also be able to give you a better answer as well. Got some very knowledgeable individuals in there, equally in my community as well. Cody, Mr. Miles, people in the stream right now, I'm sure they can give you a good answer as well. The YouTube commercial I just saw was a paid advert for shilling XRP. For me, it was obviously stay away. I mean, yeah, they've been paid shills about every asset in there. Some of them are also just complete false advertisement as well, just scams about there. So again, it's only going to happen more and more if the space develops more. You're going to see more scams, more of this shilling coming out. Casper, hasn't got any paid shilling whatsoever because it's a fair launch project, so that's also a unique bet. It's a double-edged sword, lack of adoption in that regard, but also more, fairness, decentralization. Welcome back, Nansworth. You're doing very, very well. And you too, Wing Hong and Ren Moon, next month, my man, hopefully. I'm holding Casper, Sui, and Tao, so I don't mind. And in the end, we are in crypto to make money and make profits. So if some interesting projects are in the market, why not do videos about them sometimes? Exactly. I mean, again, I've started diversifying a little bit more recently, and again, the general market video that I'm releasing in the next half an hour or so, that will also give, a kind of general outlook on other assets in this space that I think can do well, and a kind of very brief analogy of them. And I do think, for me, Casper's a no-brainer. Bitcoin's also, a no-brainer in regards to them being very safe and secure assets. But I do think there are some value in other assets as well. I think Sui's not bad, Tao's not bad, C's not bad, XRP's not bad. I think Desync's a good shout as a very small, to hedge into. You got Render's not a bad shout. And, even assets like Solana, right? Solana, I think Casper's going to very much prove itself to be better than Solana in this cycle very comfortably. But Solana's going to have the ETS coming out first and institutional adoption. Solana will get that institutional advantage as well on the FOMO going into the project. But that being said, before I answer more questions, getting into more of the Casper updates right now, so we can see in continuation, the EVM building for Casper right now is absolutely insane. There's so many big projects coming through, and once more we can highlight here the kind of benefit of Casper once more being decentralized. Here we've got breaking news that ZK Sync confirms $5 million in $ZK was drained via a compromised admin account. They say the incident was isolated and user funds remain safe. So that is, of course, a cause for concern. But, this is what Johnny highlights here. This is something that will never, ever happen to Casper as there is no admin account. There's not, this won't happen before. He also he warned us about this before in the past as well when it came to the hacker for ZK Lend. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised no one in the Casper community is paying attention to the attack on ZK Lend. About 9.5 million has been stolen. A native DeFi protocol, as the leading ZK rollup solution service provider that competes against the OP rollup, it's ridiculous that this sort of stuff can happen when you're meant to be, secure and safe. Everything's meant to be decentralized, but yet you can hack into the admin account and just steal it from it. But because Casper is decentralized, there's no admin account, this thing could never happen to Casper. So it makes it even more secure in that regard as well, not to mention the MEV resistant element as well. In regard to some more FUD, unfortunately, well, that wasn't really FUD, I'm also highlighting that Casper's, unique in that regard, but in regard to some more FUD, you got it here from Chris, who is the marketing team leader of Natural. I did put this post in the warning section of my free community, but effectively Chris highlights here as a statement: over the past 6 months we've shown patience, transparency and trust, but unfortunately the same cannot be said to WeX official exchange. The TLDR here is they've waited months and months and months paying for a listing that never came, and it's still not come. They've gone quiet now, they're not replying, not doing anything, not refunding either. So they're just saying, you know what, we can't do anything about it. We're still going to wait. We're just telling the community now, do not engage with WeX Exchange. They are not to be trusted. And I never use WeX Exchange, and I don't think I ever will. And even now, so I definitely won't do it. But this is the problem once again with certain industries, centralized exchanges and whatnot. Scamming behavior, not to be trusted. DEXs should be. Hopefully, the space will become a truly decentralized space where DEXs actually reign supreme, not centralized authorities controlling them. DEXs through and through. I've got a post here from Vite talking about how Casper versus Ethereum, and I haven't read through the whole thing. I might do a little bit later on, but my, analogy of the two there is that Ethereum claims to be decentralized, but it has APIs that are centralized. So Ethereum, in that regard, is not decentralized either. It lost that when it went proof of stake. Casper is truly decentralized, and it's also going to be quicker than Ethereum whilst being cheaper as well. So Casper, in due time, will also take over Ethereum, my belief. I think Ethereum's going to slowly start falling off. It might start the cycle later on, it might start as soon as the cycle ends, but I think Ethereum is going to start seeing its days come to an end, because it's just not scalable enough. It's not efficient enough. It's great for bridging the Ethereum tools over to other infrastructures like Casper. It's got that early mover advantage in that regard, but in terms of actual, future potential, it's just not there anymore. I don't think Ethereum is there at all anymore. Casper's got so much more coming into it. For example, they've got the other initiatives like the KRI and even KDAO. KDAO's highlighted here they're proud to partner with the KRI's Connie project. The Connie project being the one that's trying to launch a Casper node into space. That's huge. So KDAO will be raising funds to releasing a set of NFTs with different benefits. The KDAO management is still structuring what this will look like, but we'll release more details soon. So it looks like KDAO, Casper DAO, and KRI are actually going to be partnering together, which is very nice, because I do remember seeing in the KDAO's recent AMA, or one of the recent AMAs, that KRI said we would love to work together. And it looks like they're going to be working together now, which is very, very good, because they both have the same agenda to try and push Casper's, it's a kind of adoption, and it's in name to the forefront of the space and the world, or even out of this world, as they're going to be launching a node into space. It's very, very cool. AI is going to be doing very big things. We can see Nvidia plans to manufacture its AI supercomputers in the United States for the first time, aiming to build $500 billion in AI infrastructure over the next 4 years. That is thanks to also the recent kind of pause of AI-based tariffs. Howard Lutnick said that Trump's administration recent tariff exemptions on electronics like smartphones and computers are only temporary. They're only temporary, but it has allowed, therefore, the AI business to take advantage of that and start building in America. AI is going to be huge, crypto is going to be huge, and again, Casper is in a strong position for that as well, with their AI agents that could also be built on them very soon, with a lot of infrastructure coming through. 10 BPS not far off now either. Things are going to really take off in May, in my belief. That does not necessarily mean price take off in May. I'm not necessarily clarifying that. I'm highlighting that we'll see so much more in regards to adoption, innovation in crypto, and hopefully some market volatility in crypto going into May, especially if we do get the rate cuts. And with what Casper's building and developing, you've got early May, 5th of May being 10 BPS, and then you're going to probably see latter half of May the testnets, and if not, complete release of the layer 2s of Igolans and Caspers coming out. The dApps and DEXs building on top of them also released at the same time as well. You may see developments and opcodes for stablecoins coming out around that time as well. You're seeing Dagonite coming out again, as Christian Ludwig highlighted. By the end of the year, Casper's going to be just so impossible to ignore, and it's going to be so innovative that those who faded, again, my personal belief, those who faded Casper are either going to be quietly accumulated again, or they're going to try and stick, or they're going to have to accept they're wrong. Like, I think those, again, fading Casper at the current, moment in time, I understand why, and I think it's fair enough, but those who have faded Casper, for the most part, have faded because the price has been terrible, but I think they fail to understand the significance of what's coming through and what Casper's building. People try to fade Bitcoin in the beginning, and now everyone accepts, even now, Bitcoin not being scalable, people still accept Bitcoin because it's Bitcoin. Casper is going to be able to scale like Bitcoin couldn't. So I think people are going to have to accept Casper. If they don't, then it's, I guess, just pure, I would highlight probably pure just stubbornness, not wanting to accept Casper, because what Casper's building is just, for me, impossible to ignore. I have a Casper wallet with a high amount of Casper on it, and my miners are being paid out to the Casper wallet. The problem is all the transactions are deposited into the wallet under the UTXO. To my knowledge, and again, my knowledge is probably not as diverse as other people's are, so definitely, check into the community and see what they say. But to my knowledge, I think it won't cause any problems. It'll just kind of split into a different element. To my knowledge, it'll just, when your UTXO count approaches the limit, the wallet will either just split transactions, or it'll consolidate the UTXOs by sending the funds to the user's own address. So new deposits will create new UTXOs, but the overall balance will remain unaffected. So it should be okay. But again, that just double check with other people just to be sure. I have compound these UTXOs in my balance is 1 1/5 what it should be. I'm not particularly sure if I'm perfectly honest crypto goes to. To my knowledge, I think it shouldn't be too problematic. But again, I mean, maybe Tony knows, maybe Kryptony and other Tony knows. There are a lot of people in my free community here who probably have a better idea in regards to that as well. They're very knowledgeable, so you can come join if you're not a part of it already and go just ask a few questions in there, because that's the benefit of the community. Because as much as I'd like to say got quite a decent amount of knowledge in Casper, I am only human. There's only so much I do know. So the community here is a place where equally I can learn more, and we can all learn together about crypto and Casper. So if you need extra assistance, or just want to have a place to chill, chat and learn more, then come check out the community here and just ask away. People there will give you an answer, whether it be Cody or Mr. Miles, or whether it be one of my other mods, Casper God, or just people in the community in general. A lot of people there are very, very knowledgeable individuals who are, good at, they know what they're talking about. So it can be helpful there. Honestly, I was moving around my coins a couple of days ago, and in my opinion, Casper really needs this 10 BPS upgrade. The transactions are slower right now compared to both Serena and Tau. And I mean, yeah, that's what Casper is already a strong asset in my opinion, but for it to be able to properly scale and compete to other assets in this space, I do believe that it does need 10 BPS. That's just me personally again. Just to be able to handle, because we already saw KLC20 come out and it started, started to slow down, get congested, because it couldn't handle the speeds above 300 TPS. So for me, 10 BPS is a necessity, and that is coming out though 3 weeks away. Not even that, is 20 days away, less than that, 19 days away. So we're very close now. Very, very close indeed. 32 BPS before 100 BPS, yes, that's also happening as well. We'll see 10 to 32 to 100. And as a Viv Zohar, who Somplinsky mental highlighted, we don't actually even need anything above 10. But Somplinsky's going to do it anyways, because he thought, you know what, I can. And I love that. Welcome back, Buffalo, my man. You're doing very, very well. Joining on my break. Good stuff to hear. Great to hear. Keep working, my man. Thoughts on Spectral? Worth looking into, in my opinion. I have not heard of Spectral. At least I can't. It's not ringing a bell in my head. Spectral. Right. I'm assuming you're referring to a crypto asset. I don't see Spectral here though. Oh, I didn't spell it right. That's why. Spectral. This one. Spectral AI. I haven't seen which one you're referring to. This one's the bigger one here, Spectral. It launched earlier last year, about summer last year. Did a nice pump with the AI boom, then came down. You got the Spectral. You got That's a Spectre, not Spectral. So that's Spectral, then Spectral there. That's Spectral. I'm not looked too much into Spectral, but I'll give it another look because I'm guessing it is an AI asset. Simplifying the creation or deployment of decentralized applications through autonomous on-chain agents. Yeah, so element of AI then. For me, I think honestly it's kind of worth looking into any AI assets, because AI is just going to be such a big thing going forward. So Spectral could be one to look into. I'll do a little bit of research myself and see what I can find about it. It might be a good gem. Obviously it has come down a lot, but I'm not too worried about that right now. It sounds weird to say that, but the reason why I'm not too worried, because this here is the AI boom and it'll come back down. There are other assets that I've highlighted in my community here as well that also have come down quite a lot since I announced them, because they did very well in the AI boom and they come back down. But when the AI sector comes back again, which I think it will do, I think this asset can also gain a lot more adoption as well, and return to their previous highs, if not higher. DD says I invested into Spec, unfortunately sold at $10, but I'm keeping an eye on it. I mean, yeah, Spec, yeah, looking at it right now, it does look interesting. Again, it rose to 17, so that's very interesting. So maybe Spectre is one that's worth into. I mean, I'll add it to my watch list and have a look into it. See what comes of it. Binance didn't list Casper because they know Casper, but they want to pack at the price, and when we ride, they will do for us and go pump. I mean, yeah, I agree. Binance. The reason for Binance not listing Casper is really unbeknownst to any of us, because there are multiple good opportunities to list Casper. A lot of times when the volume was high, right now, it's been terrible. Maybe they knew the market was going to correct so heavily, therefore they waited. But either way, for me, when the 10 BPS comes out, smart contracts, stable coins, Dagnite, all these immediate catalysts coming out, the market starts to reverse. In my belief, going into May, June time, I think you'll see these tier ones start to make a move. If you look at the wallet addresses right now, you can see we're just short of 520,000, which is reassuring. It's going up still. We can see equally that the elusive quote-unquote Binance wallet, we don't know, but we suspect it is, just short of 700,000 Casper. It's going to probably reach that number on Thursday, because we tend to buy every Monday and Thursday. And, we'll likely see this translate into a listing very soon. No matter who, I don't know who this is, but I suspect that it is a listing, most likely a tier 1 as well, because it'd make the most sense. And even the hash rate again, which is very bullish, is starting to come up as well now. It's back above 1 EH, and with the nodes switching over, you'll likely see all of this start to rally back up to where it was a few months back. We saw it trading quite comfortably, or being at the levels of around 1 extra hash, 1.5 extra hash. So you'll see that come back once the 10 bps comes out and the adoption comes back and Binance starts to list the project and the price becomes more profitable again as well. Everyone know Casper, but they don't want to list like normal crypto like Mantra, but they know Casper's endgame. Well, that's also because Casper's a fair launch project. There's an element of risk to reward, remember. If you're listing a project like Mantra, they can pay for the listing. So therefore, if you're paid, X amount of money, $2 billion, or maybe $2 million, let's just say, $2 million, whether it be actual money or worth of the token, if you're paid that to list a project, you're like, okay, cool, here, list it, bang. We don't care. Because they made money from the listing anyways. So there's no risk to reward for them. They haven't got to do it themselves. But of Casper, they're not paying them tokens. So if Binance want to list Casper or Coinbase or OKX, they have to accumulate themselves and take a risk whether they're going to list it and make money or not. So what they're trying to do is maximize their gains at the same time. So they're going to list when the price is ideally quite low and the momentum is looking really, really strong for crypto to come back. And Casper's catalysts are also coinciding with a lot of the big catalysts in crypto as well. The M2, the rate cuts, the stimulus packages, the market structure bills, all coming in and around Q2 and Q2 into Q3, which is when Casper's big developments come out as well. Early, mid Q2 being in May, going into late Q2, Q3 with stablecoins and smart contracts. So Casper developments are coinciding with a lot of that stuff as well. That could be a huge market rally for Casper in the market's reverse as well. 1.3 for Spectre right now is not too bad. If it does do very well from here as well. I know just about as much as you right now of UTXOs. I'm still learning, but it's a bit confusing. Yeah, it's not the easiest to understand. But I am, I might also see if I can reach out to Shai. I think Shai will probably know quite a lot more about it. That might be able to help me out as well. He's normally quite communicative, as long as you aren't, grilling him out. But he's also a busy man, so I don't want to I don't like taking up too much of his time, because what he does. I mean, again, he's busy. I don't like, I don't want to get in his way of what he's trying to do as well with Casper and anything. Just trying to educate people. But yeah, so far I think the UTXO element, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think it will just split off. Mantra up 30%. Yeah, Mantra it's just such a weird thing. It's up 30% today. Actually, even it was up 50% earlier actually. But in my belief, this is similar to what you saw of Terra Luna. If you look at Luna, Classic right now, and you look at when it went through its whole crash as well, you can see that around this time, you started seeing, I'll do it on the 7-day. Yeah, you see around this time when Luna came down from the crash. I think it's a month and here. You saw it like when it came down, it started going from 11 billion. Oh no, this way it crashed. It crashed down here, came down to 312 million, and then went back up again. Like you see it go up and down a little bit. It's just kind of what happens. Look, it came down to 300 million, and then went back up to 1 billion again. It doesn't mean the project's coming back necessarily. It's just people trying to take advantage of a capitulating asset that's come down. I think that it'll be no different with Mantra here as well. You're seeing people starting to buy up again as the price will come down to make some quick gains, or maybe in the belief they're going to come back up again. But chances are little to none in my belief. You've lost investor confidence now. Fast DPS on Sui and Solana, but Solana inflation is brutal. I mean, yeah, Solana and Sui are strong infrastructure projects for getting, quick confirmation, stuff like that, and that's why they've done well. But they have inherent underlying infrastructure issues and problems that's not going to let them survive when the adoption comes through in full force. Lack of security, lack of just safety, not decentralized, all these elements as well. And even then, like their TPS may be truly tested as well, because Solana has gone down numerous times when it's been very, very congested in the meme bubble. It's going to get more congested when you have institutions being here as well. So Solana may not be able to handle that. That's why I think Casper's going to do a very good job as well going forward. Spectre AI is very good in my honest opinion. Let me have a quick look at Spectre AI then. Spectre AI is a very small asset. Got in around 35 cents. I mean, yeah, you're doing very well then if you're in that early. That also launched at the beginning of last year, or just before that as well. So it's quite a long-standing project in that regard. It rose to $6, back down to 1.6. But I mean, yeah, that's a long-standing. It's a very, very small cap asset. It's not got many listings either, so that is a bit concerning. Just because again, the adoption is always good for an asset to get be able to have rally up higher. But I mean, it's done so far good right now. You got in at 35 cents. You got in last year in the very, very early. That's insane. I'm not sure if it can rise to over $30. I can't confirm that because I don't know too much about it. But I mean, that could be a very good hidden gem as well potentially. So maybe it's worth also looking into. Did you see the X post like quiz? Find A+C. Yeah, I did. He posted about that. I thought it was relating to Binance's post about A plus B plus E, and when you added the numbers together or something like that, it added to the number 11, which basically just added to the letter K. So it was another like conspiracy post about how Casper's going to get listed on Binance very, very soon. I spoke about it briefly, but I don't try and talk about too much of the speculative Binance stuff because again, it'll happen when it happens, right? We can't rush it. All we're going to do is just keep research, keep learning more and more, and we'll see it pay off very soon as well. I don't want big banks or big enterprises to only focus on XRP and open their eyes to add Casper for payments. I don't want big banks or big enterprises to only focus on XRP, open their eyes to add Casper for fast payments. I mean, I right now, big banks and enterprises seem to be mainly focusing on assets like XRP, Ondu Finance, Algorand, XLM. You got assets like HBAR as well. Those ones are like definitely getting a lot of adoption from these institutions right now. I think Casper is extremely. I mean, what Paul Van Son said was perfect actually. Hopefully I retweeted it. I think I did. But what Paul Van Son said was like for me a very, very perfect Paul Van Son said here on the 11th of April, Casper is still hardly known in finance industry and broad public worldwide, but they will soon all discover it, not through hype stories and false expectations, which a lot of these projects have right now, but by experiencing the true value of security, processing speed, and smarter, clean energy use. This is where Casper's at right now. Casper's going to be an organic growth like Bitcoin. It took a while for Bitcoin to grow, but it's going to be organic, and these institutions like KRI and institutional adoption are going to help accelerate it quicker as well. It'll come through. Too many extra teeth in Casper and Binance. I mean, yeah, it's been over a year of waiting, that's why. It's been very, very long. When 25 cents, we all thought by now, by June. Good question, Paul. No one really knows. Truth be told, no one really knows. I'm optimistic that this quarter, so we're obviously going through April right now, which is looking quite, bearish. But I'm optimistic that going into May and June, should we get rate cuts, which I think we will do, and based on capital developments coming out as well, should give it some good use case. I'm hopeful that going into June sort of time, we'll start to see a lot more price rallying, and hopefully therefore see Kappa reach the sort of levels of above all-time highs again. We'll have to see though, because it's not a marathon, it's a sprint at the end of the day. Any news by KRI? The last thing they announced about the Coney thing, which is very cool, but nothing more about it just yet. The thing that I'm sure we're going to be waiting for right now is probably early May, because they're meant to be meeting up with their industry clients, which include the likes of PwC, Shell, DHL, Hyundai, Bosch, Eon, like all these massive institutions. They're meeting up with all of them in Abu Dhabi in early May, and that'll they're going to be talking about Casper and their projects as well. So that's the last. I think the next time I'm going to hear anything big from them. But I'd love to be proven wrong. Anything more would be great. Welcome back, Tony Moran. You're doing very, very well. UTXOs are confusing for non-technical users. Some wallets like Caspians show UTXOs, but it caused more confusion than help. Tangent provides a more user-friendly interface. It does show UTXOs. Okay, well that's good to know. So maybe Tangent can provide some answer there as well. Seriously, I'm not saying you should invest in it, but look and read Quant. I think Quant also is one that I do think is a very, very strong asset in the kind of similar bracket and basket to like XRP and XLM and HBAR and Algorand, because is also going to be, it's going to be in a similar basket to that sort of stuff. I think Quant also is a very strong choice. Quant right now, if you look at it, QNT, USDT. See, Quant right now is valued at $66. It comes back quite a lot like every other asset from all-time highs, about 61%. You know, that's a very, very nice value to all-time highs or local highs if it reaches that. 2.5x, but obviously Quant did go a lot higher in the last cycle to $400. That's in the first cycle when it launched. Will it return to that? Can't confirm that for sure. But if it does, you know, that's a 6+x from here. So Quant could be a good shout as well. I think Quant's a good. I think Quant is one of those. It's one of the assets in the same bucket as XRP that I think will get a lot of adoption from institutions and will do very well. But again, it's about risk reward. You know, do your own research, trade your own discretion. What is for you the biggest KI project? For me, good question. It's a good question. For me, I do like. There's three that I like the most. It's Asset Mint, Warp Core, and Gigawatt. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think Asset Mint's my favorite because Asset Mint is about the tokenization of commodities and real estate, and that market is absolutely massive. It's the biggest market for adoption for crypto and blockchain. The tokenization of stocks, bonds, and commodities and real estate, that's effectively what Asset Mint's doing. So Gigawatt stablecoin is huge for the energy sector, and stablecoin adoption is also absolutely massive as well. And equally Warp Core, cross-border payments, equally very big, but for me, Asset Mint has the highest potential ROI in return to adoption for Casper. Tangent does not. Oh, yeah, Tangent does not show you TXOs. Oh, I thought it did. It does not. Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, then Tangent does not show that. That's a bit unfortunate then. Do you prefer to spend on a ticket plane to see a conference of some Polinsky or buy Casper instead? Right now, I like just, you know, holding my Casper very much so, but I mean, hey, I would not say no to seeing the man himself. I think the reason why I say actually I'll probably choose to buy Casper because as much as I'd love to hear Tom Polinsky speak, he's a technical man at heart. He's got, you know, PhD at Harvard. You know, he's an absolute brainiac. I would understand half what he's saying. You know, it would take, and like when I talk about the stuff about Casper right now, it normally requires me listening to something that Tom Polinsky said, something very technical, and, you know, researching each line about what it means. If I'm listening to him real time, I won't know what he's meaning real time. So I'm gonna be just kind of laughing or just smiling and be like, "Wow, he's saying big words. That's so cool." But that's gonna be how I feel at the moment. Maybe one day I'll come to that sort of understanding. Actually, probably never, because that's too much. Did you ever go to the Casper event or Casper party? I have not. No, I'm gonna go to hopefully a UK meetup when that happens. I'm gonna hopefully meet up people at Wolfie's Bar one day. I'm sure that'll happen as well. But it's only a matter of time, right? You'll see a lot more of those events happening when Casper starts to rally and price and adoption comes back as well. The belief Casper comes back, you'll see a lot more people being happy about it. It's just a matter of time, you know. Matter of time. With that being said, though, thank you everyone once more for watching today's daily Casper and crypto live stream. The TLDR is Cathie Wood's belief markets is more short-term pain in the markets, but gains are still on the horizon. I predict, not financial advice, end of May going into June will be a very, very good time for crypto and Casper as well. AI is going to be a big factor that Casper also is going to tap into, seemingly, with AI, and a lot of big developments coming through as well. A lot more to look forward to. I'm going to be releasing my market video, my altcoin video, in about 20-30 minutes or so. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you want to know more about crypto and Casper, come check out the free community. If you want to be even more, you know, in tune to the market and helping to make market strategies and whatnot, and learn more about the space of institutional documents, trade lots and whatnot, check out the VIP group. 7-day free trial there as well. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more, and have a great day, good evening, and good night. The problem is after I compound all these TXOs, my balance is 1/5, and it should be, and I can't get the 4/5 of the transactions where I pay for the wallet. Yeah, I'll see if I can try and find out some more for you to go through. If not, then yeah, I might have to try and reach out to one of the actual Casper developers to see if they have a better idea. Maybe 5BB, Coder Stuff, Michael Sutton, Shy, one of them might have a better idea as well. I'll see if I can find out for you, but if not, then that'd be the best bets, my man. But that being said, have a great day, good evening, and night, and I will see you all in the next one tomorrow.